$13 million. That is the number, the single number sitting at the center of the most explosive trade conversation in Major League Baseball right now. $13 million and a 29-year-old pitcher from Minnesota who just put together the best season of his career and who every single analyst covering the New York Yankees says is the most obvious trade target between now and August 3rd. His name is Joe Ryan. He is the ace of the Minnesota Twins. He made the All-Star team for the first time last season. He struck out 194 batters in 171 innings. He posted a 3.42 ERA and a 1.04 WIP. He has the most valuable four-seam fastball in Major League Baseball over the past 4 seasons. And right now, the New York Yankees want him. Bad. The question is whether Minnesota will let him go, and the answer to that question could determine whether the Yankees win the World Series in 2026 or watch another team hoist the trophy while their rotation recovers from injury. Stay with me, because this story is bigger than one trade. This is about whether the Yankees are actually serious about winning or whether they are just serious about talking about winning. Yankee Stadium, March 2026. Spring training is wrapping up. The 2026 MLB season is days away from beginning, and the New York Yankees are heading into opening day with a rotation problem that nobody in the front office wants to say out loud, but that every fan in the Bronx can see clearly. Gerrit is rehabbing from elbow surgery. Carlos Rodon is rehabbing from elbow surgery. Clark Schmidt is rehabbing from elbow surgery. 3 of the Yankees' most important starting pitchers, all 3 coming back from the same surgery, on the same arm, at the same time. The Yankees' opening day rotation is going to feature Max Fried at the top and then a collection of arms that includes Cam Schlitter and Luis Gil and Will Warren and Ryan Yarbrough holding things together until the injured starters return. That is not a World Series rotation. That is a survival plan. And Aaron Judge himself said it out loud this offseason. He said it was tough to see other teams get better while New York stood pat. Aaron Judge, the face of the franchise, the reigning American League MVP, said publicly that watching the Yankees do nothing while the rest of the AL East got stronger was tough to take. When your best player is saying things like that in the offseason, you have a problem. And the Yankees front office knows it.
Now here is where Joe Ryan comes in. Because Ryan does not just solve the Yankees' rotation problem, Ryan solves it affordably. And in 2026, for a Yankees organization that owner Hal Steinbrenner has been very publicly trying to get under a $300 million payroll figure, affordable is everything. Ryan is making $6.1 million in 2026. $6.1 million for an all-star pitcher with a 3.42 ERA and 194 strikeouts. That number is almost absurd when you compare it to what other starting pitchers are making across the league. And then there is the option, a $13 million mutual option for 2027, meaning the Yankees could control Joe Ryan for 2 full seasons at a combined $19.1 million. For context, the Yankees paid Gerrit Cole $43 million last year alone. Ryan, at $13 million for 2027, would give the Yankees one of the best cost-controlled ace-level starters in baseball. And CBS Sports insider Mike Axisa said it plainly in a piece that sent the Yankees fan base into a frenzy this week. He named Ryan as perhaps the most obvious trade target for New York between now and the August 3rd deadline. Not one of the obvious targets, the most obvious. That is the assessment of one of the most respected baseball analysts in the country, and he is not alone.
Multiple outlets have been connecting the Yankees to Ryan for months. Matthew Schmidt of Roundtable Sports was one of the first to suggest the move and has come back to it repeatedly as the case for the trade has gotten stronger. His analysis was direct and compelling. Ryan would comprise an ideal target for New York right now, given that he is making just $6.1 million this year and has the $13 million mutual option for 2027 before hitting free agency. For a Yankees club that has been watching its payroll closely, Ryan would actually be an inexpensive addition given his talent level. And Pinstripe Alley's detailed breakdown of Ryan's pitching profile explained exactly why he is worth whatever it costs to get him. Ryan's fastball has been the most valuable four-seamer in Major League Baseball across the last 4 seasons, accumulating a +67 StatCast run value. He does not overpower hitters with elite velocity. His average fastball sits at 93.6 miles per hour, but he throws it 51.2% of the time, and he locates it to the edges of the zone with precision that very few pitchers in the sport can match. His arm slot and spin efficiency create what analysts describe as one of the shallowest vertical attack angles of any four-seamer in baseball. Basically, what that means for anyone who is not a StatCast nerd is that his fastball does something at the plate that confuses hitters at an elite level, even without elite velocity. And when you combine that fastball with a strikeout rate above 28% and a walk rate below 6%, you have a pitcher who profiles as a genuine number 2 starter on a championship-caliber team. On the Yankees, he would slot in behind Max Fried and ahead of Cole when Cole returns. That is a rotation that wins in October.
But here is the complication, and this is the part that is going to drive Yankees fans absolutely crazy for the next 4 months. The Twins do not want to trade him, at least not right now. Twins president of baseball operations Derek Falvey said publicly this offseason in no uncertain terms that Minnesota was not looking to trade away the core of their roster. He said the team was looking to add, not subtract. And Joe Ryan himself said this week that he is happy in Minnesota. Happy. That word, happy. It is the word that every player says before they get traded. But it is also the word that complicates trade negotiations considerably when you are trying to convince a team to move a 29-year-old all-star ace who just had the best season of his career and who has 2 more years of club control remaining. Minnesota is not going to give Ryan away. They are not the ones who need this trade. The Yankees are the ones who need this trade. And in baseball, that power dynamic matters enormously when it comes time to set a price. What would it actually cost the Yankees to get Joe Ryan? This is the question that every Yankees beat reporter and every analytics writer and every fan account with more than 10,000 followers has been debating for months. And the honest answer is, it would not be cheap. Pinstripe Alley's analysis put Ryan's trade value somewhere between that of Freddie Peralta and Mackenzie Gore when those pitchers were moved. That is a significant package. The Red Sox reportedly offered any 2 of Peyton Toller and Josiah Gray and Franklin Arias for Ryan at last year's trade deadline. Minnesota said no. So the price is at least that high. For the Yankees, that likely means dipping into a farm system that Brian Cashman has been building carefully. Names like Cam Schlippler and Will Warren and George Lombard Jr. have been mentioned in various trade scenarios. The Yankees would have to give up meaningful pieces, real prospects, the kind of players that fans get attached to before they reach the big leagues. And Hal Steinbrenner's payroll concerns add another layer of complexity, because even at $6.1 million for 2026 and $13 million for 2027, the Yankees are already at or near their target payroll number. Every dollar they add somewhere has to come from somewhere else. Every trade has a cost beyond just the prospects involved, and Cashman has to balance the urgency of winning now against the risk of gutting a farm system that took years to rebuild. Here is the bigger picture that this Joe Ryan conversation is really about. The Yankees have not won a World Series since 2009. That is 17 years in a franchise that defines itself by championships, with a payroll that has been among the highest in baseball for most of those 17 years. The core of this team is not getting younger. Aaron Judge is 33, Giancarlo Stanton is 35, Gerrit Cole is 35 and coming back from elbow surgery. The window for this group of Yankees to win together is not infinite. It has an expiration date. And the front office has to decide right now whether this is the year they go all in or whether they manage payroll and build for the future and hope that the window has not already started closing. Joe Ryan at $13 million is not going all in.
Joe Ryan at $13 million is going all in while being smart about it. That is the rarest thing in baseball. A game-changing pitcher at a team-friendly price. And the Yankees know it. The analysts know it. Aaron Judge knows it. The only question is whether Brian Cashman can convince Minnesota that moving Ryan now makes sense for both teams, and whether he can put together a package that the Twins cannot say no to. So here is where we stand right now. The 2026 season is about to begin. Cole and Rodon are injured. The rotation needs help. Joe Ryan is the most obvious solution. He costs $6.1 million this year and $13 million next year. He's an all-star with the most valuable four-seamer in baseball over the past 4 seasons. Multiple insiders have named him as the Yankees' top mid-season trade target. Minnesota says he's not for sale. Ryan says he's happy in Minnesota. And the Yankees are heading into opening day, hoping their young pitchers hold things together long enough for Cashman to put a trade together that changes everything. 4 months. That is how long the Yankees have before the August 3rd trade deadline. 4 months to decide whether this is the year they go get their guy, or whether they watch another team do it first. So here is my question to you Yankees fans. Is Joe Ryan worth giving up 2 or 3 top prospects to bring to the Bronx? Or do you trust Cashman to find another way to fix this rotation before it costs the Yankees the season? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I want to hear from every single one of you. And if this channel gives you the Yankees coverage that actually gets to the point, subscribe right now, because the trade deadline conversation is just getting started, and we will be here every step of the way.